16. I'm not sure if Yogi senses the danger, but he seems suddenly more lively. He breaks into a trot, heading up the track along the side of the coupe. I have one arm around Kaz's waist, and she holds Willow in front of her. Kaz is talking to Yogi. "Come on, boy," she says. "Just give us 10 minutes. We need to get a break on them." I keep looking back to the spot where we came out of the bush at the bottom of the coupe, but there's no sign of movement. The track we are on re-enters the forest closer to the top, concealing us from anyone further down. Eventually, Kaz slips off Yogi's back and I follow. Willow stays on to ride for a while. "So, did you see them?" Kaz asks. "No, but I heard them." The track widens as we get closer to the ridgeline, where we come to a T intersection. "I reckon this is the logging track that meets the coast road just below Pinchgut Junction," I say. "If Ramage's men are still guarding the cutting, we should be able to avoid them." "How far do you reckon?" Kaz asks. "Hard to tell, but it can't be more than 10 k's. As we move along the track, I keep my eye out for prickly currant bushes. They're about the only bush food I know. There's plenty of them in the scrub down closer to Angowrie. The bright red berries are easy to spot. I tell Kaz, and she starts looking off into the bush as well. It takes us a couple of hours to get to the coast road. We don't hesitate, swinging south as the road starts to descend. It's mid-afternoon by then, and my energy is draining away. Kaz is limping badly now, but she refuses to ride. "And I thought your sister was stubborn," I mutter. She lets that go, but with her back to me says, "I reckon you fell for Rose. Makes sense. A boy on his own for years and a beautiful girl is chased into town. I bet if she had been a boy, you wouldn't have been so quick to help." When she turns back, I can see she's smiling. "If she was a boy," I say, "Ramage wouldn't have been chasing her." The sun is still high enough to warm us when the road swings briefly out of the shadows. I can hear kookaburras in the distance, and every now and again the snapping of twigs as a wallaby takes off into the undergrowth. At one point, I think I pick up the smell of the ocean. Kaz is ahead of me. She's taken her jumper off, and the dark skin on her arms glints with sweat. "There's something I've been wondering," I say, "but I don't know how to put it." "What?" "You know, Rose being pregnant." "Do I know who the father is?" She shrugs. I'm not sure if it's a "I don't care" shrug or an "I don't know" one. "Finn, look," she shouts, leading Yogi off the road. "She's found a currant bush." "Careful," I say, "the leaves are really prickly." There's not a lot of fruit, but I show her how to shake the branches at their base to make the berries fall. Willow climbs down off Yogi and picks up the berries. They are sweet and juicy, little grenades of flavour on our tongues. Conversation drops away as we gorge ourselves. Kaz has trickles of red at the sides of her mouth. She grins and her teeth are all stained. "They're so good. What do you reckon, Willow?" she asks. "Nice," she agrees, smearing the red juice down the side of her face. "Look," she says, "I'm like you, Kaz." It's not until I get my first glimpse of the ocean, that blue horizon that I've been missing for the last week, that I dare to think that we might make it home safely. I'm so worried about Rose, whether she'll still be there, whether she's managed to stay safe, whether she will be well enough to recognise us. I keep an eye out for the windmill and tank on my left, though the fading light doesn't help. Eventually, it appears out of the gloom, and my bike is still there. "Aren't you full of surprises?" Kaz says when I wheel it out. The sun drops below the horizon and the night sets in. I don't know what to expect when we get back to Angowrie, but I have to assume Ramage has left someone there to keep watch. By now, Kaz can hardly move her leg, and I've finally convinced her to ride up with Willow. I wheel the bike beside them. We must look like a strange trio. I decide it's best to get off the road, so we turn down the track towards the hay shed. The collapsed iron roof and steel frame are all that's left of it. The wire I strung across the gate to knock Ramage from his bike is coiled by one of the fence posts. It still makes me shudder to think about cutting him with the knife. The familiar feeling of coming home has crept up on me. The only difference now is that I'm bringing 2 people, and there's another one waiting for me. and I've almost forgotten about Rowdy. I can't wait to give him a scratch behind the ears and to have him dance around my feet again. But I have to keep a lid on my excitement. I don't want to get lazy and stuff up now. I have to stay alert, even though I'm completely buggered. I take Willow off Yogi's back first and help Kaz down next. I'm beginning to think her injury may be more serious than a bruise. It's dark by now, but I can hear her sharp intake of breath when she walks. I ride ahead on my bike to check things out, finding myself at the top of our street in a couple of minutes. I can see all the way down the hill to the Wilders' camp on the river. There's no sign of movement, no fire, and I can't smell smoke. I stay close to the fences until I'm within 100 metres of my place. Then I move in for cover, crossing through the yards of the deserted houses. I stop at our fence, lean the bike against a tree and check the house. Inching along the side of the shed, I give Rose the warning whistle and wait. When I come in closer, I see the back door is wide open. I whistle again. "Rose," I whisper as loud as I dare. When the wind drops for a few seconds, I hear a faint whining coming from the kitchen. Stepping through the door, my heart jumps into my mouth. Even in the darkness, I can tell the place is a mess. The table is turned over, chairs are broken, and most of the drawers have been pulled out and emptied onto the floor. The whining sound turns into laboured breathing, heavy and nasally. It's Rowdy. When my eyes adjust to the gloom, I find him laying in the hallway, his body pushed up against the wall. He tries to get up, but his back legs give way under him. "Rose?" I call again, louder this time. There's no response. I scoop up Rowdy, carry him out onto the back porch and check him over. He's been in a fight. I can't see any wounds, but there are lumps where he's been hit or kicked. He looks so thin. He can't have eaten in a week. His tongue lolls out the side of his mouth. I leave him there and get a bowl of water. He raises his head just enough to drink from it. "What's happened, boy?" I ask. "Where's Rose?" I lay him down again and go back into the house, checking each room. Everywhere else looks untouched. It's just the kitchen that's a mess. The bed where I left Rose is unmade, but the room doesn't smell of her. I don't think she's been here for a while. Rowdy's a little more lively when I get back out to the porch. He lifts his head and tries to wag his tail. "I'll be back as soon as I can," I tell him. He whines when I disappear into the dark again. It tears me up to leave him like this, even for a short time. But I have to bring Kaz and Willow in. They'll be worried that something has happened to me. Spooked by what I've seen at the house, I'm extra cautious and leave the bike. I find Willow and Kaz lying in the grass together. Willow is asleep with her head in Kaz's lap. I can hear Yogi grazing not far away. "Where's Rose?" Kaz asks. "Is she safe?" "She's not there. It doesn't look good. The place is a mess and Rowdy, my dog, he's been injured." Kaz sags. "She might be okay though, mightn't she, Finn?" she says. "She might have run." "It's possible. Let's go down to the house," I say. I know it's dangerous, but we need shelter and food tonight, and I have to look after Rowdy. Rowdy's still lying where I left him. When he hears me again, he struggles to his feet and hobbles to the edge of the porch. Kaz has tethered Yogi in the backyard. At the back door, she approaches Rowdy with her hand out saying, "Hello, Rowdy. Hello, boy." She scratches him gently under the muzzle, then behind his ears. "Let's get inside," I say. Kaz picks up Rowdy and carries him into the house. "Is there food here, Finn?" asks Willow, following behind her. "Yep, as long as it hasn't been stolen." Inside, Kaz and I stand the table up and find 2 chairs that aren't broken. I notice one of the drawers under the sink hasn't been disturbed, the one that had the torch in it. Sure enough, it's still there, and working. Kaz and Willow are startled by the sudden light. "Bloody hell, Finn, a torch. I haven't seen one of those in ages. Have you got batteries?" Kaz asks. "Not many left now, but yeah, I've got a few." "What's happened here?" "Dunno. I'm guessing the Wilders found the place, but there's no way of knowing if Rose was here when they did." While Kaz starts to clean up, I go out to check the food supplies. The branch across the door is still in place, and the padlock too. I grab a few tins of baked beans. Then, While Kaz and Willow look out in amazement, I cook the beans and serve them up on plates. I offer Rowdy some, spooning them into his mouth. He eats a little, but then backs away. Kaz has been checking him out, running her hand over his coat. One of his back legs is swollen below the hip and is sensitive to her touch. "You and me, Rowdy," she says. "Cripples, the both of us." We eat in the dark. I don't want to waste batteries after I've finished cooking. There's plenty of slurping and scraping of plates. When we've finished, I carry Willow up to Rose's room and put her to bed. It still smells of spew. Back in the kitchen, I can just make out Kaz's silhouette against the white of the wall behind her. "What now?" she asks. "We'll have to look around in the morning, try to work out what's happened." "What if she got away? Where would she go?" "Raise? Wait, she'd have to..." I jump to my feet and switch the torch on. "The map," I say. I hid the map and told her where to find it in the flour tin. I reach under the sink, pull off the lid and shine the torch inside. "It's empty. She's taken the map. She's tried to get to Ray's place." "Who's Ray?" I explain quickly. "What if the Wilders have caught her? What if they've got the map now?" "We'll find out soon enough. I'll go to Ray's tomorrow and see if everything is okay." "No, you won't." Her voice cuts through the dark. "What?" "No way are you going to leave Willow and me here. We're coming too. This place isn't safe if the Wilders know about it." "You're injured, Kaz. You won't make it." "Watch me," she says. I fold my arms. "We'll talk about it tomorrow." "You can talk about it all you like, but Willow and me are coming with you." I'm too tired to argue. "You can sleep in with Willow," I say. "I'll be in the front room." I lead Rowdy to the bedroom. I've hardly got the strength to lift him onto the bed. I lie down next to him and put my hand on his belly, feeling him breathe in and out. Before I doze off, I try to think how long it's been since I did this. Lie here with Rowdy next to me, listening to him breathing. Before Rose, before the Wilders, before Kaz and Willow. It can't be more than a couple of weeks, but it feels like a lifetime.